This right here is gonna piss you off, sis. And if you a real man out there, this gonna piss you off too, okay? Now let's get into it.
This little ass girl, I say had to be at least just 5 years straight. So for this little girl was a little younger, and that's how sick my people's is. This about to get sick. This little ass girl, I say had to be at least just 5 years old by now. I was like 7, so she had to be 5 because she was younger than me. But she knew how to talk though. But she ain't talk like a kid. She she ain't talk like an older kid. She talked like a straight kid. Like, hey, like kids. So boom, long story short, my Uncle Mookie, my Aunt Chastity and Tifa and them, they took me across the street to her. We used to chill over their house a lot. That used to be my little kid crush. I had a crush on her. So why the my uncles and them take me and this little girl downstairs in the basement, bro? This little girl literally like 5, I'm like 7. They pulled my out on her, bro, and told her to treat her like a hot dog and eat it. They told this little ass 5-year-old to suck my dick and treat her like a hot dog, bro. That's crazy. A little 5-year-old, bro. That little girl, bro, was only 5. I was 7. And they was teaching that little girl how to suck my dick at the age of 5. So whoever that little white girl was, if y'all remember that shit out Pasadena, turned that little girl out early, bro. My parents ain't even know what the was going on.
I'm glad that he put this story out there, as triggering as it may be for some. I'm glad that this story was told because it sheds light on just how soon and early these kids can be thrown into the pit of fire dealing with adults. Their whole little childhood just snatched away from them within seconds because of stupid ass adults. Nasty ass adults. Men and women. Women can be just as nasty and as men because women go through these things, then they go try experimenting on other children. Little boys and girls do that. Some don't know no better, some do. 5 years old? 7 years old? You pulling his wanker out telling a 5-year-old to eat it like a hot dog? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Y'all are disgraces. Anybody who took part in that, anybody who has ever taken part in anything like that, you going to hell. You going to hell with gasoline draws on.
I want to say this now, all right? Grooming and molestation can happen amongst children, and it's not just by adults. Being quote-unquote fast comes from seeing things you are not supposed to see and also being touched in ways you are not supposed to be touched. So before calling girls fast and things, understand and check the source. Check what homes they were brought up in. Check the people that were teaching them or in front of them. Okay?
Why would you snatch up somebody's childhood like that? This boy to this day is telling this story. He himself is a bit traumatized, believe it or not. He still has this embedded in his brain like it was yesterday. He knows that was not supposed to be happening. That poor little white girl was never the same after this, I'm sure. Probably never looked at black people the same. This is happening every day, too. Y'all think this is cute. Y'all are some out here. Y'all are some big and you deserve to have your wankers chopped right off.
He made me feel like the center of his universe, and then he completely destroyed that. He was my dad. He raised me since I was 2. I loved my stepdad. I started thinking about all of the different things that he had done that I thought was normal. I was getting my first smartphone and he was giving me his old one. He gave it to me. He said, here's your new phone. Like, I know that you've been wanting one. And I completely deleted everything off of it. But there's just one picture on there that I need you to delete. And I'm like, okay. He goes, yeah, it's just a picture of my pecker that I'd send your mom. And I was like, I don't want to see that, Dad. Can you just delete it? I really don't want to see that. And he hands me the phone and he says, no, you have to delete it right now. In 4th grade, I remember going training bra shopping. I was excited to get a Barbie bra. And the entire time we're bra shopping, he's holding them up saying, oh, how about these over the shoulder boulder holders? And just making all kinds of surprising comments about my experience with getting my first bras. And so it was very normalized in my family to talk about my body in any way, shape, or form that anybody saw fit. And that is a huge key factor in that intrafamilial child torture aspect. I called my friend Sam and I told him my stepdad just asked me to make with him and I don't know what to do next. And all I remember him saying is, Danielle, you need to hang up the phone with me and call the police. And I couldn't do it. I don't know why I couldn't do it, but I think hearing somebody else say like, wow, like that's really bad, I think it really put in perspective like how much danger I was in.
These children will never be the same after experiencing something like that. And then it's parents like us, we don't even know that our child has been through something like that. Our child's gone for 5 minutes and they done sucked a whole pee-pee like it's a hot dog. And your child is never the same after that again, and you just can't figure out why.
When I ended up pregnant, I was pregnant by the boy that was in my neighborhood. So when the word got back to my sister's father, someone kicked me in my stomach down the steps. They purposely did that because people thought that it was my sister's father's baby, and they did not want there to be any proof of him. Me having to be attacked, then lose a child, it was so much coming out of me. I just sat in pain. And when I was 13, I moved in with my father, and the first night I stayed with him is the first night that he assaulted me. We were both watching a movie. It was just me and him in a room, and I woke up in the middle of the night and he was grinding on me and he pulled down my pants and he proceeded to assault me. Before daylight came up, he came into the room again and he proceeded to put his fingers inside of me. And when he did that, he stopped himself and he said, I'm really sorry. When daylight came up, we ate breakfast like everything was normal. And then he said, I can't take care of you. He said, I have to take you back basically to where my stepdad lived. And I said, well, you said I could stay here. And he said, well, you can't stay here. And I'm just going to be a part of your life. I'm going to help you. And you're going to get emancipated. You want to get your own place. So as he's driving me back to where my stepdad lived, as he's driving me back, he tells me that you do know men have children with their daughters. And then he proceeded to say, no other man is going to love you the way that I'm going to love you. So when you are an adult, you are basically to be with me. Like, we're basically going to be together. So it was just weird because by him telling me that, it truly it messed up a lot of things for me. My sister's father began to touch me. He began to perform on me and things like that. And then when I turned about 10 or 11 is when he took my virginity. He came into my room. He was like, oh, let's play a game. And he started to say that I was his girlfriend. He would say like, you know, we're going to be together forever. I felt like I was just something for him to use or to just play around with.
So let's discuss the fact that the people surrounding her kicked her in her pregnant belly to hide the fact that a grown man that's supposed to be a step parent to her may have possibly impregnated her. This is disgusting and proves how far people will go to protect their king. I already expect Dusties to lie and protect each other, but women, we are all our children have, okay? So, I mean, they got dads too sometimes, but you know what I mean. So when you choose an abusive man over your child, it proves you're the dust fairy and need to go to hell right along with your Dusty, okay? Do better. People of all races, best believe all races have dust balls and dust fairies, and I can't stand none of y'all.
I addressed someone that had basically groomed or me. And no, they weren't older. We were all children. But at the end of the day, if I was not doing that before said child came into my life, then that's what grooming is. Regardless. So it happens when other children are being molested, and then they get with other children and start teaching them the ways that other people have seduced them into thinking things were okay, and it's not. To the point that this person now thinks, oh, it was just playing house and we were just playing mommy and daddy. Oh, you need to heal. Oh, yes, I am healing. But what you need to understand, honey, is grooming. Regardless if you was 2 years older or not, it's still grooming. And I pray that people heal from their childhood and not think that it's okay, because obviously somebody has gaslighted you into believing that whatever they did to you was just playing house. People have manipulated you into thinking the that they did was, oh, we were just part of growing up. And it's not. It's sick. And when these families start brushing it up under the rug like it's okay, then true healing will come around. But no, playing house and mommy and daddy is not just something kids do. And if it is, you guys need to stop those generational curses, because it ain't okay. And I'll be damned if that happens to my children. I'm not going to say, oh, that's just growing up. You watch it and watch your kids, and the you think is just okay.
It be stuff like this. Neighbors like this. That's why you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Child, I'm about to go collect my kids from outside right now. I don't trust nothing or nobody. These little kids. Watch out for these little kids too. These little kids can be worse than these freaking perved adults. It's traumatizing. And y'all need to keep an eye on your children. Keep an eye on your neighbors and your family members, especially your family members. Keep an eye on these things. And keep open communication. Keep open communication at all times, okay? Because it's getting weird out here. You can be groomed many different ways. People can be groomed at many different ages and in many different ways.
Grooming is when someone builds a relationship with a child or young person in order to gain their trust so they can essay, manipulate, or exploit them. That's because so many children are being groomed every single day. Grooming can happen in person or online. And children can be groomed by a stranger or someone they know. It could be a family member, a teacher, a pastor, a mentor, a coach, anybody. And groomers will use certain tactics such as giving them money, giving them gifts, special attention, flattery, taking them out in order to build their trust and to isolate them. And not only is a groomer grooming the child, they're also grooming their family and the community, because a lot of people who groom children, they're nice, they're charming, they're helpful. Looks can be deceiving. Just because someone doesn't look like a predator does not mean they cannot be a predator. And then online grooming is a whole nother thing, and I talk about this quite a bit, but parents, when y'all give your children phones and you don't have conversations with them, you don't monitor them, you're putting your child at risk, because there are over 500,000 active predators online every single day. So many kids are being tricked by these people on Snapchat and Instagram and all these other things, because these people will make fake profiles posing to be young as your child, build up a relationship with them, and ask your child to do all kinds of nefarious things. So if your child has a phone and you haven't at least had the conversation with your child about being safe online, you need to have that conversation with them, because it is better safe than sorry. And again, like I said, there are so many predators out there online.
Ongoing entrapment, ongoing abuse of authority, the building of a safety zone by an older adult who slowly offers little nuanced elements of sexuality and then teaches you more about sexuality, engages in sexuality.
Beware of men who try to groom you. And most people's mind goes straight to age when someone says that. But grooming goes far beyond older men who seek out younger women. This also goes for men who emotionally groom women as well. Men who seek out women who are in a stage of vulnerability. Queens, any man who tries to apply pressure knowing you're vulnerable is a man you should steer clear from.
I hope that this information has helped somebody, anybody out there, okay? I hope you got something from this, because I know I did. Now, I done told y'all what I feel. Now, I want to know what are your thoughts. What do you feel? What do you think? Tell me down below, because I need to know. Have you been groomed? What was it like? How do you feel about it now? Are you past it? Does it still affect you? Have you ever had to deal with your children coming out and letting you know that they've been groomed? Groomed and essay, it ain't too far from being the same thing if you ask me. Hell, tell me what you think down below, okay? For real, I need to know. Men and women, what are your thoughts on this? If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget that I truly do love and appreciate y'all with everything in me, okay? Y'all are helping this channel grow, and we finna keep rocking together, okay? We is rocking hard. So, I love you, and I hope to catch you in the next one.